Okay. So just let me know.
You're live.
Okay, we are live here on YouTube. Hi, beautiful Golden Anchor quilting community. We forgot to turn the studio lights on, so that's fun. I am Louisa Grindle, the owner at Golden Anchor Quilting, located here in Claremont, New Hampshire. We want to thank you for joining us, whether you're joining us live or watching later. All of that helps support our small local quilt shop. We appreciate you being here. Remember, while you're here, to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this with other folks who might enjoy our content, whether they are quilty or not. And the the iPad where Aunt Ellen is watching the chat for us just went with volume, so we just have to turn the volume down on that. We have so many adventures here in our YouTube studio. If it ain't one thing, it's another, right? So liking, subscribing, and sharing our videos is a free way that you can help support us. Just get the word out. Tell people we're here and that you enjoy us and how you feel about what we do here at Golden Anchor. Our question tonight, every week we have a question that we ask for you to engage with the chat. And by engaging with that question in the chat, you get an entry into the drawing for whatever tutorial we make tonight, which tonight is a small little jewelry pouch. So get in that chat, get active, and Belinda is in the background keeping track of those comment reactions so that we can have a wheel of names at the end of the broadcast. We are asking the question tonight, and it's a dangerous one. And if your significant others are watching and you don't want to admit, you can put a fake number in, it's okay. But how many sewing machines do you own? Even before I owned the shop, I would have had to admit that I owned 5. So I totally understand what happens in those craft rooms. But that's our question for tonight. So respond in the chat. How many sewing machines do you own?
The question is, did you plan to match your shirt with the quilt in the background?
No! What a serendipitous accident! No, I did some thrift store shopping this weekend because I wanted to find t-shirts for our t-shirt rug class that's coming up. And while I was there, this adorable thing and these fabulous pants, I don't know if you can see them, but they're very fabulous. We're at the thrift shop and I bought them so that I would have a cute YouTube outfit for this week. And it beautifully matches the My Summer House quilt behind me. So, you know, all kinds of good magical things happening. Isn't that cool? So how many sewing machines do you have? Speaking of videos and cool things, Jaftex, which is one of the larger fabric vendors and marketers and makers that we work with here at the shop. So they have Free Spirit Fabrics, Blank Quilting, Studio E, Henry Glass. I'm sure I'm missing some, but they have a lot of really wonderful lines that our community loves to play with and create with. And they have a video challenge going on for the month of August for shops to give a tour of the shop, kind of, you know, share what makes you unique and play a little bit. And we spent this weekend, other than thrift store shopping, with my best friend since I was 14, so 30 plus years of friendships, and she still likes me, and I still like her. Actually, we love each other. But she came down, spent the weekend with me, recording all kinds of footage around the shop. Darren talking, me talking, you know, all kinds of things going on, and she's helping us create the video for the video challenge. When we post that video, it's going to be extra important that we get everybody to watch it and share it and like it and engage with that video so that we can win prizes. And those prizes will help us bring even more beautiful Jaftex fabrics to our shop. And if you're not familiar with those title names of Jaftex, it's lines like our Coral Reef, that's from them. Out of Farm's Way that we've enjoyed so much. Foliage and Fur Coats was from them. All of our Tula Pink, the Cave Facade that we have, Tim Holtz, that program that we've signed up for starting in October, is all from Jaftex. And Shelly is our rep from Jaftex, and she's wonderful and takes very good care of us here at Golden Anchor Quilting. And I know she would be absolutely thrilled if we won a prize in this video contest. So once we post that, we'll let you all know so that you can go out and like it and follow it and subscribe it and do all those things and get us lots of points in that contest. And then that contest follows September, October, and November. There's a Scott Sent Me challenge because Scott Fortunoff, who's the, I think I have his title wrong, but I think the president of Jaftex, is presenting these videos to the greater quilting community as an opportunity to get to know quilt shops and then go check them out. And there's prizes for folks who come to the shops for the Scott Sent Me Challenge. So watching the videos and knowing where to go for the Scott Sent Me Challenge is how you can have fun with that too. So that's our Jaftex video. And the All New England Shop Hop. Oh my goodness, what a whirlwind. The All New England Shop Hop is almost here. I cannot believe September 1st is so close. But this is the All New England Shop Hop magazine. And Papa, if you want to bring us over to camera 2. So the All New England Shop Hop magazine, we have them here in the shop. Thank you to all of you who pre-ordered your magazines, and you can go ahead and decline that. It's okay. So, you know, technology, isn't it grand? The All New England Shop Hop magazines came to the shop. We've got them. We have them here. They're a wonderful resource, even if you're not going to shop hop.
Move it up a little.
Up here?
Yeah.
Yep, better? Okay. So there's a map of all of the regions and a listing of all of the shops. And then in the middle is the passport where you get all your cute little stickers from all the shops, and that's what you would submit for prizes. There are patterns in here. There are a list of all of the prizes. We sponsored a prize for our region. So one of the prizes for our region is a $300 basket of goodies from Golden Anchor Quilting. And that's listed here. We're in the Northwest region. And then this is the All New England Shop Hop fabric that's coming. And we are super excited about that fabric. It's not here yet. Apparently there was a delay in the Cape Horn, you know, the pass between the continents. Something happened in there, and so the fabric's not here yet, but when we get it, we'll be working up samples and kitting things up so that we can have some excitement with that Shop Hop fabric. And then we also got our block. Can we see that on the?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Great.
So this is the Golden Anchor Quilting, Claremont, New Hampshire. I'd rather be sewing is our quote for the collectible block this year. You'll notice they're in color this year. Last year they were black and white. So it's fun that there's some color on them. By having a Shop Hop passport and coming to the shops, you'll get a sticker on your passport, and you will get a block from each shop that can then be made into commemorative projects. I think we're ready to come back up to camera 1. So that's the Shop Hop. September 1st through October 31st, 91 participating shops across New England. Lots of fun to be had there. And our little games that we're adding to the Shop Hop to keep it extra fun here at Golden Anchor, we're going to have some little flat printed laminated golden anchors that we're going to strategically tuck into bolts around the shop. And any day during the Shop Hop that you come in to purchase fabric, if we unroll to cut your fabric and an anchor falls out, you get 10% off that cut of fabric. How fun is that? I mean, if you want to spend the time hunting for them, you can, but it could just be magical to unroll a bolt at the register and get 10% off. We're also going to have some turtles hidden around the shop, where if you find a turtle, that's the other part of our logo, right? If you find a turtle, we have a giveaway basket for you to pick from. Some sweet little, you know, quilting goodies that you can take home. And we're also going to have a shop-specific raffle, not just the regional prize, but a raffle that you can enter in lots of different ways by coming to visit us during the Shop Hop. So that's Anesh, All New England Shop Hop. Their Facebook page, if you're not on their Facebook page, check it out. There's a lot of really fun and interesting stuff going on at a lot of the shops in the Hop, and you can kind of feel the excitement and find out about all the different opportunities to engage with the All New England Shop Hop. We're going to talk about some classes, but before I do that, it's breath time, right? Breathe. It's good to breathe. Do we have any comments or questions or anything that we should address before we move into classes?
Well, Jean Galero says I have to use the 2023 blocks in 17 days.
Oh, to get them done. Yes, your 2023 Shop Hop. You know, that All New England Shop Hop Facebook page has a lot of great inspiration for what people did with those blocks. So if you need inspiration, Jean, go check it out. You'll get some ideas there. Lots of fun stuff. All right. So upcoming classes. I'm going to step over here. and bring this beautifulness over into the space. So Ray Lagasse, who is one of our most deeply appreciated volunteers' husbands. Ray Lagasse has been a juried member of the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen for the work that he does with baskets, and he's been a workshop instructor in the region and New England for a really long time, and he is masterful at this. And we are so privileged to have him coming this Saturday to teach a basket workshop. It's not just this basket. We posted in the class all of the different baskets that you can make, and you come to the workshop. Ray teaches you, Ray gets you through all of the materials included. You leave with a completed basket and the skills to consider making more at a later time. The workshop is $150. It is all inclusive, and there's only one spot left. So if you've been holding out on that registration, now is the time to hop on and get that spot before it's gone.
Is that on your Golden Anchor?
It is goldenanchorquilting.com under classes, and it's the basket making workshop that you can get to that link and register. So we have that coming up on Saturday. On Sunday, I mentioned that I'd gone thrift store shopping to get the matching outfit that I didn't even know about. And we went to get some t-shirts as well, because on Saturday we are going to have an opportunity to upcycle some t-shirts. And these can be t-shirts that you have lying around that you maybe thought you were going to do a t-shirt quilt and haven't gotten to it, but you can use the backs of the t-shirts that you're not going to put into the quilt, or some of the thrift shops that we have collaborated with over the last month or so, like Uplifting Thrifting in White River, Kit and Caboodle here in Claremont, and Listen Thrift Stores, White River, Canaan, and Lebanon, and Closet Treasures over in Grantham. So there's lots of opportunities for thrift shopping, and grabbing some t-shirts at a low cost will get you the materials for Sunday's class. Sunday's class is just $25, and you will leave with the ability to make t-shirt either rugs, placemats, coasters, however you want to structure them, however big you want to go. This was one we made with some solid t-shirts. It looks even more fun with tie-dye. Lots of opportunity to play with that. That is Sunday from 11 to 4. Reminder that every Tuesday is Open Sew here at Golden Anchor Quilting. You can come and work on a project of your choosing, socialize with other crafty people. We're starting to get some traction on the idea that we share lunch together on Tuesdays at Open Sew. If we get some regular core people, we can do potlucks and have even more fun with Open Sew. Next week, on Wednesday the 21st and Saturday the 24th, we have our Never Give Up Day classes. These are the projects that you have put in a bucket that shall not be named on YouTube because we'd get banned, right? So it's something that rhymes with bucket, and it's the bucket that you have in the back of your closet, and it's those projects that you put in timeout and you said, never again am I touching this project. It's either it's boring or it got too complicated, or we all have different reasons that we abandon projects. But in honor of National Never Give Up Day, we're hosting 2 opportunities, Wednesday and Saturday, for just $10. Come in and work on those bleep bleep bucket classes. Bucket projects, right? The timeout projects, the projects that you kind of given up hope on. I have one for each day to work on. So even I am pulling my projects out of timeout for the Never Give Up Day. And we'll cheer each other on, have some light refreshments to encourage us, and just have a whole bunch of fun accomplishing stuff we thought maybe we never would. And we're going to have more classes coming up on the calendar for August and September and October. The challenge there is figuring out how to balance how busy we anticipate being with the Shop Hop with having classes on the calendar. So we are extra asking the community, if you have been considering a class that you think you'd like to teach, if there's a project that you've made 150 of and you just know it in your sleep and you want to share that with the community, even if it's not a quilting skill. So I make jewelry. I didn't make these, so that was a silly reach. But I make jewelry and have thought about teaching jewelry classes here. We have some other arts coming in, like the basket workshop and an artist trading card workshop that we're going to have coming up. So even if what you think you'd like to teach and introduce to the community isn't quilting or sewing specifically, we want to keep our classroom full during the Shop Hop, September and October. but it's not going to be able to be me in there teaching because I've got to make sure that everything goes smoothly with Shop Hop. So if you've been thinking about it, now is the time to jump out and say, yes, I'd like to teach something, and come play. But we do have some that we're going to be able to put on the calendar. And it's going to be things like reviving our Tankini table runner, which people really enjoyed the last time we ran it. The Rock and Roller Coaster quilt by Krista Mosier, who has a really wonderful website that I think there will be a link to later this week on Roller Coaster Day, which is Friday, to check out her patterns and see what else from her patterns you'd like us to carry here in the shop. We're going to have a bookmark class that has a variety of using up scraps, a creative corner bookmark, and some embroidered bookmarks that are super cute. We're looking at doing this wallet class. Super simple. Looks complicated. Really, really simple. And we'll add a snap or a button closure with a loop. You know, really you get to choose how you close that. Scrap friendly, giftable, wonderful class that'll be coming up. And these are not on the website yet, but these are things to sort of think about and look for on the website. We're going to have some charitable sewing days coming up with the donated fabric we have, and look at upcycling ties. So if you've got ties from a family member that you lost in the past and you were looking for something to do with those, we're going to have some projects for those. A picnic roll up, which is really fun, embroidered postcards, embroidered jean jackets, a really sweet and wonderful wrap skirt that can be adjusted for all kinds of different sizes, and some quilted jackets. So all things on the radar coming up in as near a future as we can make them happen. Another breath moment before we dive into our exciting program announcement. I'm so excited. Are there any comments or questions we should check in about?
Dee says hi.
Hi, Dee.
And the basket class, there's a lot of nice things being said about the basket.
Yes. Ray has taught these workshops in other places around the valley, Library Arts Center, other quilt shops, other locations, and the feedback we got from the greater community is that his workshops are thebomb.com. So we're super excited that we get to host one. And when this one goes really well, if there's a drive and a desire, I bet we could talk him into doing another one. So keep us posted on that, community. All right. So our program that we have been just, I don't know, I've been bubbling with excitement about is our Ambassador program. So the word ambassador, that's boring. Ambassador is what we're going to call this program. We have been brainstorming and thinking about and trying to figure out a way to officially have a way to recognize, appreciate, and thank the people who volunteer here in the shop and help us with our everyday operations and all of their skills that are different than my skills. And we wanted to have a structured program and also invite other people to come enjoy the benefits of volunteering here. And so we took the model of ski slopes, where if you volunteer so many hours on the slopes, you get a season's pass and all of their employee discount perks. And that was a recommendation from our financial advisor and attorney, who I'm hoping to get on our YouTube channel soon for some financial advice for all of you, because he's wonderful. And the way we're going to structure this program is based on how many hours per month you'd like to volunteer. So if you want to volunteer at the bronze level, which is just 5 hours a month, can be all at one time or spread out over time, you'll get 10% off of all of your purchases and one class registration per month, up to $50 in class registration. So 5 hours of your time helping us with things that help keep the shop running and the community strong, and you get 10% off your purchases and a class registration up to $50. So that's the bronze level. The silver level is 10 hours per month. Again, can be in one day or spread out over time based on your schedule and when works for you. And that's 15% off all of your purchases, 10% off one long arming service per month, and one class registration up to $50 per month as well. And before I talk about the gold level, which I'm the most excited about, before I talk about that, the class registration piece, Dee, down in Virginia, spent some time with me this weekend after the video and the thrift store shopping and everything else I did. Dee sat down with me for, I think almost 3 hours total, and helped me figure out the technology to be able to run virtual classes. Yay! So those class registrations could be applied to some of the virtual classes that we're going to be able to offer moving forward. So thank you, Dee, for that time and for helping me and being patient with me while we wrestled with the technology. Patience was definitely necessary. And then we have the gold level of volunteering, which is 20 hours per month. You get to enjoy 20% off of all of your purchases, 15% off one long arm service per month, one annual sewing machine cleaning and repair, and 2 class registrations up to $50 per month. So you get to come in, spend time in this environment where people are happy and there's color and there's fabric and there's fun. And in exchange for that, you get to access all of these discounts to build your stash, to learn new skills, to get your projects long-armed and finished. We think it's a win all the way around, and we're really excited about it. Some of the volunteer opportunities that we have thought about and put on the initial structure of this program are things like window dressing, putting displays in the windows and making things look pretty. Studio merchandising, so that I don't just hang a quilt and call it good, although this quilt is beautiful and we're going to talk about it in a minute. Helping us with general retail floor help, right? Being out there, helping people find the colors they're looking for, cutting fabric for folks, helping put bolts away, just being there, wearing an apron and helping out. Bundle makers, the Sassy Sunflower half pack quilts, we're always looking for inspiration for those bundles, but also our 3-yard bundles, maybe putting together some fat quarter bundles, those kinds of things. We're looking for help with kit cutting and assembly. We have some folks in our community who are already doing that for us, and they're doing a wonderful job, but we realize we're starting to overwhelm them because we're getting more creative with kits. So we need some more folks to help with that. And we are looking for a manager of sorts for our sample sewing program. So when samples get signed up for and the fabric goes out of the shop, and when does that fabric come back, and when are we done with that line, and did the sample get back to the sample sewer? So that's almost a virtual opportunity. And some help with our charitable sewing program and managing and organizing our donated fabric to align it with the charitable sewing programs. Fat quarter table stocking and tidying up and refilling is another place. And help on YouTube nights. So Aunt Ellen is beautiful and comes and stays as often as she can and as often as her dog Pippa will allow her to leave the house, and helps with comments. And Belinda's in the background, and Donna comes and helps with comments and all of that on YouTube nights. But we'd like to be able to sort of spread the love there and not have anyone obligated to every Tuesday night. So we're looking for some help with that as well. And we're asking you, what are your talents? What are your strong points? What's something you'd love to do here at Golden Anchor Quilting under the umbrella of Ambassador Program? We're going to put all of this into a newsletter that we share with you with details and an application. We'll ask you to fill out the application. It's super simple. It's just a matter of some demographic information and then which jobs you might be interested in and what sort of times and days you might be available to help. And then we're going to sit down and interview the applicants, and we're going to start with what we think is a small and reasonable amount of just 10 folks in this pilot program. So we'll send out the newsletter explaining all of that, and it will be launched very soon. Not necessarily Ambassador, but Shop Hop. The Shop Hop time, September 1st through October 31st, we are looking for folks who would be willing to come in and just be an extra set of hands. So if there are days you have available when we're open, which is everything except for Monday, that you'd be willing to come help out and just be here as an extra set of hands for the busy season that we're anticipating with the Shop Hop, then let us know and we will set up a schedule for that. How are we doing on time?
Oh, it's 20-something past.
Okay. So let's
22 past.
let's pause for another breath. Find out if there are any questions or comments we should answer. Big breath.
Nothing, lot of messages.
Okay, messages and wonderfulness, but no questions we need to answer.
I don't think so.
Okay, and we missed 3 weeks worth of drawing for cash in the shop. And one of those weeks we were closed. So we don't have as many tickets as we normally do. But I'm going to toss them out on here. Don't change the camera for this because we don't want people seeing, you know. No. And I'll close my eyes so we know I'm not cheating. And we have Donna Tardif for one of the 3 weeks. So you'll have a $10 gift card waiting for you, Donna. And a reminder, this drawing is for folks who paid with cash or check in the week prior to this YouTube broadcast, in this case 3 weeks. And we draw a name each week for a $10 gift card here to Golden Anchor. That's a blank one. So the gremlin who messed up our computer gets, no, we'll do a different one. We've got Ellen Menard. So there's number 2. And another gremlin. What is going on? Lord. Cindy Danetta. Okay, so we've got those 3 $10 gift cards that will get put into the system for folks that you're welcome to use when you come to see us. And that takes care of that. And in the few minutes we have left, if I can get Belinda to toss me that jewelry pouch. I forgot to bring the finished one into the studio. I brought the...
We needed ribbon.
Oh, yes, we have ribbon.
Right, but we had to get it down.
Oh, okay, no worries. All right, so this is the little jewelry pouch for our quick tutorial tonight. And you pull from both sides, and it gets all punched up and adorable. This one was made with an 8-inch circle and a 6-inch circle. The sample that I've got for the tutorial, we cut a... Oh, I've got a bodkin. I'm good. Thank you. We've got a closer to 10-inch circle and 8-inch circle to make it a little bit bigger. So you just need 2 circles that are bigger and 2 circles that are smaller of fabric. This one is 8 and 6. This one that we're going to make together is 10 and 8. And some ribbon and a sewing machine. And you end up with inside little pockets where you can put jewelry, unless you wear big obnoxious jewelry like me, in which case you need like a 14-inch and 12-inch circle so that you can pack for a weekend. But you know, if you wear simple studs, maybe this cute little one is perfect for you. All right, so we can go to, I think right here. Yep, go to 2. So what I have here are 2 sets of circles, right sides together, bigger and smaller. And we've got them stitched from here to here, leaving an opening for turning. And then we turn. Any comments or questions? This is the time to ask comments or questions, because while I do all of this, oh, they're asking about the quilts. They're asking about the quilt. Okay, so that quilt was sewn by one of our incredibly talented sample sewers, Kim. And Kim said that she really enjoyed putting it together and that she took a whole bunch of notes for us to make it easier. And she believes it would be a friendly block of the month program. We have 5 kits. We originally ordered 6, but Kim put 1 together for us. So we have 5 kits left to potentially do a block of the month program. So this is sort of our way of announcing that we have them and asking the community if there's enough interest in doing a block of the month for this quilt, which is called My Summer House, to see if we should reserve those kits and set up that block of the month program and maybe even talk Kim into teaching it. I left my turning tool out there, so I'm struggling a little bit. Yep. But with a turning tool, that gets easier. And then you tuck in those little 1/4-inch sides. No, scissors would poke through. It's okay. We can do this one a little bit more geometric than circular. It'll still work. It'll still work. So if you had your turning tool with you because you planned ahead, you could take your turning tool inside and drag along those seams and really get them out to a nice circle. And then you press. Oh, yay. Thank you. Okay. And then turn your smaller circle. Yeah. Help me out, Golden Anchor. Ask questions. Put comments in the chat. Keep me talking instead of standing here fumbling with turning a circle right side out.
Sewing those ahead of time is smart.
All right. See, we're making progress.
Quilted jackets, yay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give a shout out to my mom. She has volunteered. She used to be a costume designer and sewer. And we found a pattern for a quilted jacket that she loves, and she has agreed to test the pattern and then teach that class for us. So we will have, and then eventually we'd love to do the Tamarack jacket too. That is pretty popular. So.
Do you have a quilt of the week?
Oh, so that was something that we did once when we were doing the YouTube channel before. And it was a quilt of the week from stuff that had come off the long arm that week. And we would pick one and they would get a discount on their quilt and we would share it on the channel. And we haven't done it. But it's super fun to do. So if while I'm fumbling with this, Belinda wants to go pick one of the finished quilts from the long arm room, we could have a quilt of the week. Something that makes your heart happy when you look at it, Belinda. So after you've pressed those like that, you are just going to top stitch around. And I threaded the machine, and of course it has unthreaded itself. So we can go back to camera.
And we'll watch you fumble.
Right. Because the needle threader, once the needle, okay, here's an education moment for everybody. Your needle threader, automatic needle threaders, can very easily get bent if you don't put your needle up and needle down before you get ready to use your automatic needle threader. So if you're about to use your automatic needle threader, for the love of Pete and everything good, needle up, needle down, needle back up, gets the needle positioned perfectly so that when you hit that automatic needle threader button or the lever on the side of your machine, or for that matter, the manual ones that you can do down here on some of the other machines, the needle is in the right position and it doesn't bend that teeny tiny little bit of metal that actually threads your needle. If you think about how small that hole is, the needle threader has to go through that. They're very easy to bend and distort. So, education moment, always needle down, needle up before you thread your needle with an automatic needle threader. All right, so we're just going to top stitch around and little back stitch at the beginning and go around our circles. Any comments or questions?
Someone says, what quilting projects are you working on now? And I don't know if that was like out to the general audience
okay.
or to you, but I'll
All right.
toss it to you.
Well, while I top stitch this other one, in case people don't want to watch me sew around top stitching the other, Papa, you can switch over to this camera and show them that if that question was for me, this is what Dee was working on with me in the context of trying to set up the virtual classes. We have decided to be a retailer for Quilters World magazine, which will have some copies of that magazine arrive at the shop every month, or every quarter, sorry, my bad, every quarter. And when they arrive, we will pick one of the projects in that magazine to kit up and share with the community, so that if you buy the magazine, you can also have a project to go with it, which we think is a little bit of fun and inspiration. And this quilt on the front of this edition of Quilters World, this beautiful autumnal leaves and deliciousness, this is my first little block that I have finished out of this quilt, getting ready to put a sample together for the shop. And this is something we'll have kits available for here at the shop during the shop hop as well. And we can stay right here on this camera because we've got these two top stitched circles now. How am I for being lined up? We good? Good. Okay. So we're going to press both of these in half in both directions. How many sewing machines? What's our record out there? And when you press this way, don't...
Are you counting sergers and embroidery machines?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, when you're pressing in the second direction, be sure not to press out the crease that you created with the first press, because you're going to use those to line up your circles to create your pockets.
Donna Vinyl, 3 antique machines.
3 antique machines.
Sergers.
13. Wow. Donna, you put our classroom to shame with that. All right, so I don't know how well these pressing lines are going to show up on the camera, but I've got pressed lines on both of those circles. Be better if we'd turn the studio lights on. Oy. Anyway, okay. We're going to line up those crisscross press lines. And in this one, I'm only going to make 4 pockets total. If you wanted to make 6, you would just make 3 stitched lines across. If you wanted to make 8, make 4 stitched lines across. But you want to change to from a 1/4 inch foot to a zigzag friendly foot, or J foot or A foot or N foot, and so that you don't have a blade dragging across the fabric. Are we back here now? Okay, wonderful. Then you're gonna start a little bit before the edge of your inner circle and do just a smidge of back stitching to anchor that. Stitch straight across on that pressed line. Back stitch just a little bit there. I made a little far, but that'll be okay. And then rotate over to the other stitched line, or your next stitch line if you're making more. We had a really fun moment in the shop today. A community member from 2.5 hours away, who had been here once before when she was visiting the area and fell in love with the shop and the people and all of the things that we do here, came in for her second visit. And she said, I found you on YouTube and you're so fun. And I made the 10-minute table runner. And her 10-minute table runner came out very differently than ours did, but it was beautiful. She let me take a picture. So I'm going to be posting that on our Facebook to show you the variation that she did with the 10-minute table runner. It had wool applique flowers on it and all kinds of extra wonderfulness. But it was beautiful for me to hear that something we had done here on the YouTube channel had created that kind of inspiration for her. So that was really fun. Your next step after you create those crisscross stitches is a stitching line about 1/2 inch. This is a project that has so much ish in it. And by ish, I mean there's no real precision necessary. You just kind of play. So about 1/2 inch away from that inner circle, you're going to start a circle of stitching, back stitch to secure it, and then just follow the inner circle around. This is creating the pocket for putting the ribbon in or the cording in to cinch up the pouch after your sewing is done. So you're staying about 1/2 inch away. Like I said, ish, it's friendly. You know, don't worry, don't have a headache if you get a little off. Backstitch when you get back around that circle. And then 1/2 inch away from that stitching line, again, ish friendly, you're gonna put your needle down, stitch forward, back stitch, and create a second circle. This is creating the channel for that cording. The pattern inspiration that I found for this on Pinterest creates these circles and seals them off and doesn't make any complicated channel that you have to do anything fancy with. And then we're going to cut one little slit on each side of the bag where the channel is and fray check the edges of that and then thread our cording or ribbon through. So if we go back over to here, to 3. So what we've got now is our inner circle crisscross stitched onto our outer circle and 2 stitching lines around about 1/2 inch away from the inner circle and another 1/2 inch away from that, and lined up with 2 of the ends of one of the straight lines of stitches. You're going to separate the channel so that you're only cutting one layer of it. Make a little snip. And if your scissors aren't sharp enough to make that little snip at the end of your scissors, come see us on September 1st. Rick from Absolute Edge will be here sharpening shears and pinking shears again. We've come to rely on his regular visits to our shop. On August 27th on our YouTube channel, Rick is going to be here talking about scissor care, how to extend the time you can have between the need for sharpenings, things that cause the need for sharpening, how to protect the investment you have in the good scissors that you own. And then he will be here, like I said, on September 1st, the first day of the shop hop, to share the resource of scissor sharpening with our greater community. We're excited about that. Any comments or questions I can address while I wrestle with this one?
A question for everyone. Do you find a certain season that you quilt more? And we also have a nice nails Louisa comment.
Wow. Okay, so they're not even painted today, and I was very sad about them not being painted. I have a silly little thing about my nails that if they are beautiful, I feel beautiful, and if they are not beautiful, I do not feel as beautiful. So I was having a sad moment this morning about my nails just being plain, but thank you to whomever said they were nice this week.
It was Jean Valero.
Oh, Jean, thank you.
Yes.
So this is a nifty little thing that I actually got over at Frank's Bargain Center. There are many versions of this little tool. This one happens to thread through like a buckle.
We can't really see it.
Oh, I don't know how to zoom in with that camera, but if you switch over to camera 2, I can try to show it here.
Yeah, a little lower.
Lower?
There you go.
Okay, so what you're going to do, and this comes in different sizes. We have some in the classroom. You thread through here,
Move it up.
thread through here, thread through here.
There you go.
Okay, you thread through the 2 holes almost like a buckle, and then you can pull your ribbon or cording through a channel or space. And there are different versions of this. The tool concept is called bodkin, and I very much like it better than the safety pin method that I've used in the past. And I'm hoping this one will fit through the channel that I've created. Can we go back to this one? Okay, perfect. So I'm going in through that little slit that I fray checked and bringing the ribbon around and praying that my channel is big enough. I'm going all the way around with this first piece of ribbon in one direction and then peeking out through that hole. I know we went way over the half an hour, but hopefully people are still enjoying and we'll get this done. And then we thread ribbon through whatever bodkin we're going to use. And Belinda, if you know where that other bodkin is still in the classroom, we can show that one too. All right, so my ribbon is threaded through this hole from over here. So on this side, I'm going to go in. Thank you. All right, we'll talk about that one in just a minute. Do folks have bodkins? That's a good question. Have we heard of a bodkin? Do we know what a bodkin is? Do we think it's silly to use the tool versus just a safety pin when a safety pin works fine? I just find
Safety pin can come undone.
that is true.
I've
That
had
is true.
happen.
Yep. Well, and I just managed to bodkin right out the side of the circle channel we were in. Oh my gracious. Back through there, right? It's the humanality of it all. All right. And there we go, right there. There we go. Okay. So.
Lori Kay says that she is coming to the Quilted Jacket Fashion Show. She has jacket that she made from a vintage wedding ring quilt.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
It
there.
had some stains in it, so she repurposed it.
That's awesome. That's
Jacket.
one of the things that we're going to do in connection with some of the thrift shops in the area is try to collect some of those quilts that we can repurpose and therefore sort of save and keep the quilt alive for a longer period of time. So now we have ribbon coming out both sides of the outside of our jewelry pouch. We have our 2 circles sewn together with however many pockets we want. And when we pull the ribbons, if God is willing and the creek don't rise, when we pull the ribbons, it cinches up into that sweet little jewelry pouch and we can pack our little trinkets for a weekend trip. You can tie those. You could put some beads on there to sort of secure the ends, decorate it up a little bit. Obviously, the strings don't have to be quite that long. You would, measure for what you need to get outside of the bag and then put your embellishments on. This one was with 8 and 6-inch circles. This one was with 10 and 8. So you can see that you could just keep going up as long as there's about a 2-inch difference between the circle sizes when you start. And with this one, I did 1 big circle out of my outside fabric and 1 big circle out of my inside fabric, and 1 big circle out of my outside fabric and 1 of my inside fabric, so that I could have contrast in both directions and really demonstrate that. And with the one I made tonight with you, all my big circles were the same and my small circles were the same. Whoop! And it's okay. Aunt Ellen threw the iPad again. That's becoming tradition here at YouTube Golden Anchor. No worries. Should we go back over to this camera to show the bodkin?
No, right there.
Right here? Okay. So this is another version of the bodkin where you can clasp the ribbon in the little alligator teeth and then use this to thread through your channel and pull. Works really well. I was introduced to the bodkin with my first Biani bag pattern and kind of fell in love with the concept and stopped using safety pins if at all possible. I think that's it, unless there are any other... Oh, quilt of the week. People asked for it. Belinda picked a quilt. We should do that. So Belinda has picked a quilt.
Yes, my comment should be disregarded because that was the thing falling down.
Oh.
It was a random piece from...
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
wasn't
No worries.
anything bad.
No worries. So this is a quilt made by Karen Girardi. I was just looking to see if I had a footstool and I don't. So I'll just do the best I can. So Karen, when you come in to pick up your quilts, we'll have a discount for you on this one because it made Belinda's heart happy and she chose it as the quilt of the week. Quilted beautifully by Darren, the retired truck driver, now long arm quilter. Look at that, we have a stool. All right. Great. Perfect.
Do not fall.
I'm not falling. I am not falling.
Yeah.
Okay. So there
That's
is
gorgeous.
Karen's quilt.
That is gorgeous.
Can you see enough of it to really
Yeah.
appreciate?
Those are my colors, that's why I picked it.
Yeah. Those are definitely Belinda's colors for sure. So Karen, beautiful job. Darren, beautiful job. Belinda, nice pick. Karen, when you come in, enjoy the discount on that quilt. And the only thing we have left is to remind you to like and subscribe and to do our drawing for the sewing machines with the wheel of name that Belinda has created. So you want to go ahead and spin that? You just scroll back up to or there's probably a button to accept the names and then spin. All right, here we go. We're going to find out who gets to take home the jewelry pouch.
Whoever MB is.
MB. All right, so MB, if you ever choose to identify yourself, the jewelry pouch is here for you. And like, subscribe, share our videos, free way to support our small local quilt shop. Come see us at Golden Anchor Quilting. We're working on this, where the hugs are free and the community is unbreakable. Let us know how you feel about that. We will see you next Tuesday.